They say do something drastic, cut the plastic. Every piece of plastic ever made still exists today. Hello and welcome to Rabbi Rashi Foundation. Karan Shaiva, a social entrepreneur, columnist, writer, speaker, trainer with over 30 years of diverse backgrounds. Karan Shaiva is the founder of iDobro and Rise Infinity Foundation. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है Karan जी. So to start with, Karan, why don't you share your small journey about your experience for so many years and what is WSGE and what does iDobro do with it? Over to you.
So that to get that started. So yeah, I mean, as you said, founded iDobro exactly 11 years ago. We in fact had a lovely virtual unparty for our anniversary in September. It was September 9th, 2009. So it was 999 actually when we got started. And it has been an amazing journey, because we've tried to do something different, create a different model of how do you create change, and sustainable change. So we were very clear from day one that, we wanted to make sure that whatever we do has long-term, I get scared to use the word impact because impact is such a big word that to take credit to say that I can create impact is like, really going beyond, I think, what is the honest truth. But if we can even bring about some change, and every little bit of change adds up, so maybe we are a drop in the ocean, but we are still a drop in the ocean that contributes to the ocean. And so I'd like to think that is what we've been doing. And the way we do it is through three verticals, basically. The first is what we call citizenship, which is, what you are doing right now, right? Where everybody does something to change our world. The second is entrepreneurship, where I think unless you have an entrepreneurial mindset, to problem solving, we are not going to be able to change the world, right? So you need to have an entrepreneurial approach to everything we do. And so we support entrepreneurship. And the last but not the least is partnership. So whether we're doing citizenship or whether we're doing entrepreneurship, partnership is the overarching work that we do. So these are our three major verticals. And WSG actually comes from the word, we started with MSME because you have the micro, small, medium enterprises. But I realized that for the social sector, we need a different kind of enterprise. While we have to be entrepreneurial, it needs a different kind of enterprise. And therefore, we coined the term WSG, which is Women, Social and Green Enterprises. So that is our contribution to the MSME world. WSG Enterprise, and so that's how we support, and that has been our core work as iDobro to support WSG Enterprises. So yeah.
That's wonderful work, and this is something new that I also learned today, WSGE. I think this is wonderful. Okay, Karan, can you just, I would request you to please share 2-3 lines about yourself because I know you, but the world needs to know you. So over to you, please.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I always say that I love people with laser focus. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. So I've had a very, very diverse life and a very diverse education and a very diverse career path as well. So, I've lived across multiple continents. Thankfully, had this opportunity. I started as a computer engineer, but I ended up, doing everything else you can think about, whether it is HR, whether it is finance, whether it is legal, or whether it is quality assurance. So, quite a diverse academic background. And work-wise also, I've had the, real experience of being through 7 different industries, So you can see I really believe in transferable skills and I really believe in a very holistic approach to learning. So I'm constantly learning and even today I am learning. So yeah.
How well do you follow the partner for purpose, progress, prosperity, peace mantra in this life?
We as iDobro do monitoring and evaluation for projects to understand the impact assessment. And, one of the things that I learned, or at least I believe in very strongly, is that peace is this ultimate indicator of any kind of development success. And when I talk about peace, I'm not talking about an esoteric concept of peace or meditation. Of course, those are important things, but I'm talking from a real life practical point of view, is being conflict free. And if you can ensure that you create an environment that is conflict free, that is a physical environment, an emotional environment, a social environment, I think that is the biggest indicator. And so we coined this whole thing. And many people talk about purpose. So we were talking about peace as the end point. And I realized that purpose is probably the first, starting point. And so that's how we coined this line or this tagline for ourselves, for our foundation, in fact, which we started 4 years later, the Rise Infinity Foundation, where we said, partner for purpose, okay? Progress, because when you have purpose, you will start bringing people together and you progress. Once you progress, automatically prosperity starts coming in because you're thinking about each other, right, as we progress. And with prosperity, if you can then, understand that that's not enough, just having money or just having the best roads in the world. We all know developing countries are suffering and struggling as much as, developing countries, right? That's then we come to peace. And so for us, every single thing we do is about collaboration. Like we love to collaborate with you, right? So, collaboration is the cornerstone of every single thing we do. And I believe with that, we will be a conflict-free world if we really come together. So, yeah.
Okay, Karen, what is Plastic-Free Challenge? I think it's an ongoing challenge.
Again, something very close to my heart, in terms of the environment, as I said, in the planet. Because while we can take care of ourselves, if we don't take care of our planet, what are we leaving behind for our children, right? I mean, we have generations to come. So we do have to take care. And actually, it's not just only for our future generation, but for our own self. Look at the disasters that are happening. If we don't take care of our planet, we will be at the receiving end of that, disaster that is happening, right? And so the Plastic-Free Challenge is actually something that has been organized by the Swedish Institute in Stockholm. And the chapters, the alumni chapters from across the world is actually participating in it. So it's really amazing. And at the same time, and in India, we have 6 chapters for the Sweden alumni. And the Mumbai chapter, which is where I'm from and I'm a part of the board over here, we, along with 3 other chapters, which is from Maharashtra and Goa, Bangalore and Kerala, are taking part in this to really make this a pan-India event, and it's been amazing to see the response. I think we've really touched a chord. People really realize that this is a very important issue, and we've been able to actually have 20,000 participants in this challenge, working participants, not through social media or whatever, but actually who are participating. And we've focused on students because we believe that if you catch them young, the chances are that we're going to really have a well set generation. So this Plastic-Free Challenge really tells you or asks you to try and live plastic free for a week, okay, which is, believe me, very difficult, okay. And second is obviously what we have added to it is saying, can you get rid of the plastic that you have with you? Because we are surrounded by plastic. So, to look around with new eyes and find the plastic, get rid of it, and take a pledge to kind of avoid as much plastic as you can.
What makes reusable bags a viable alternative?
It's so interesting. I was on one of the other chapters, session just now a little while ago. And, one of the speakers so nicely put this, like today, if you're walking down and you see some tomatoes and you want to buy them, you automatically would say that if you don't have a bag, you just go and buy a plastic bag or take the plastic bag and walk away. But if you think about your other side of your behavior, if you did not have a wallet to buy those tomatoes, what would you do? You would not buy it, right? So it's simply that, just as you would go back for your wallet at every stage, similarly, you should go back for your bag. If you don't have a bag, don't buy it, Make it a point to have your bag with you. And this is an entrepreneur, Smita Kulkarni, actually, who's amazingly been, kind of putting the whole eco fight out there with multiple types of products that help you to change your habits and behavior. So I think it is a viable option, because if you look at paper bags, you cannot reuse them very often. Unless you reuse them continuously, it's not going to be viable, right? And the strength is just not there. So bags become so simple and it's so easy, right? A cloth bag is so easy to fold up and put in your bag. So just make it a habit to have one in your bag all the time. And that's all that is really there for it to be done. And make it something that can work for you and the planet and for all of us around us. So, yeah.
And I think each one could take up this challenge of you taking their own bag to the market, because this is a promise to oneself rather than somebody telling you all the time. And I think it's wonderful. So Karen, what can each one of us do to reduce plastic, and live a plastic-free life? Any tips on those?
When we started the kickoff event, and we had a lot of students with us on that call, right? So I think we all have grown up, or not grown up, but at least definitely been hearing this quite often, that reduce, reuse, recycle, right? That's what we keep telling each other. So, one of the things that we ask them is, can you think of some more R's, okay? That will help us to change our habits and things like that. And so quite a few came out, and it was so interesting and so nice to see how people think so differently, right? And so great to get those kind of insights. But 3 of them stuck with me, which I feel should be now the mantra going forward. First, rethink plastic. Unless you are thinking about plastic very consciously, you are not going to be able to change your habits. Because we are so used to it, it's so ingrained in our lifestyles, it's so integrated in every single thing we use. And I'm not going to take names or brands or on anything of that kind, because I don't think, I want our participants here to really think. I want our audience to think on their own. So rethink plastic, and saying no to plastic is not NO plastic only. It is also KNOW plastic. Know your plastic, because there are different kinds of plastic and there are different kinds of effects from those plastic, and there are different ways you can recycle those plastics. So rethinking plastic is very important. That's the first thing I would say. Second is refuse plastic. It's not about reduce anymore. It is refuse plastic, right? And again, when you say refuse, it's not easy. I completely understand. Again, as I said, it's so much of a part of our life, but it has to be conscious. And if you start doing it consciously, I think, and you're mindful about how you're using plastic every time, you will definitely be able to refuse it. And the last but not the least is repurpose. It's no longer about reusing. It's no longer about recycling also. It's about repurposing. Right away, find a way that you can repurpose it. And you'll be amazed at how creative you can get. We've got such amazing ideas that have come to us during this challenge. The innovations are just incredible. Will you believe that you can have a t-shirt made out of plastic? Would you believe that there are bags that are made out of plastic which you would never in your life accept that it is a plastic bag, okay? Because it has no look and feel of plastic at all, right? So there are such incredible innovations that exist out there, and so if you can find creative ways to repurpose plastic that already exists in our lives, so we cannot obviously do no. Because one fact I will leave, I don't want to give you facts and figures, because I want you to go out and find those research and statistics around plastic. But one simple thing I will definitely tell you, it takes 500 years for plastic to degrade. Think about it. How many generations are going to be dealing with our trash if we continue to use plastic? So with that, I think I will stop this thing, because I can talk forever on plastic.
Yeah, but then that's the need of the hour, because I think the plastic during this lockdown, I think it has created, as just stated by you, havoc. I think it's just collected like hell.
Absolutely.
So good. Okay. So what are other eco-friendly activities that you would suggest? Because since you are into this and your foundation is working on this, so let's talk about that a little bit.
So there are so many different things that you can do, and the way we did the challenge was every day of the week we had different things that we did, to kind of encourage people. Some of it we organized ourselves, some of it we asked our participants to organize on their own, by giving them those ideas, right? I think the first and the simplest of all is creating awareness. As I said, it is not about no plastic, NO plastic, it's about knowing plastic. So the more you make people know about plastic, I think the better your chances are of being plastic free. So that's the first thing, creating awareness and talking about it with people. The second is, to understand the legality, the frameworks, because it's easy to say ban plastic, and it's easy to say plan plastic, but actually it's not one or the other. There are different reasons about it. So banning plastic or planning for plastic requires a lot of engagement of people with different kind of stakeholders, with different kind of groups. So get in touch with people who are working on this and see what you can contribute, how you can be associated, how you can make some changes happen in your lifestyle that will allow that to happen. So engaging with others who are involved in plastic would be the other thing that I would say would be the second thing that you can do. The third is, talk about your own people in your own family and the people you get in touch with. Your mate. We just did a program with domestic workers where we were talking about waste segregation. I think, my own mates sometimes get tired of me because I'm like constantly after them, कि ये क्यों फेंक दिया यहाँ पे, लेके जाओ वापस रखो वहाँ पे, because they know there's a separate designated, dry waste part, right? But sometimes they will try the easy things out and then मुझे क्या दीदी इसमें इतना छोटा पीस है, इतना छोटा पीस से क्या होगा? And I say ये इतना छोटा पीस है ना, ये तो और भी डेंजरस है, क्योंकि क्या होता है, ये मतलब अगर मच्छी के यहाँ पे चला जाता है, पानी में जाता है, तो मच्छी खा लेगी या जानवर खा लेगा. तो सोचो तुम बाद में अगर वो मच्छी खाने जाओगे तो तुम क्या खा रहे हो? प्लास्टिक खा रहे हो. तो then they start thinking. So you can make a change happen right with the people who are around you, right? So those are other things. Fourth is, your own person who comes and collects the waste. Okay, how do you work with them? And I'm amazed now that my waste picker has actually now started giving me plastic bags. के मैडम आप इतना देते हो, फिर मेरे पास जगह नहीं रहता लेके जाने के लिए. अभी आप इतना बढ़ जाएगा तो मुझे दे देना. So you can see the change you can bring about by engaging with people and talking with them. And last, I would say not the least, is shop eco-friendly. We all love shopping. Right? So if you have to do shopping, then do that so that you can give people livelihoods, because now even those who are working with waste are learning how to upcycle waste rather than just recycling it, right? And they're making such fantastic products out of plastic waste. So make sure you encourage such initiatives, make sure that you buy from them, make sure you understand their challenges in terms of that, it may not be a perfect thing, it may not be something that's identical all the time. But yeah, the more you shop and promote, and most of these are community-led, most of these are green enterprises, green warriors. Help them, support them, give them some opportunity to help us create a better world. So I think that is some way.
You're so good. I mean, it's just on your tips. This is amazing. So this was Karen, and won't it be great if we build communities driven by the new age RISE values: responsible, inclusive, sustainable, and eco-friendly? All these values have been promoted by the RISE Foundation and iDobro, and I think we all should connect and collaborate with them to make India plastic free, rather the earth plastic free. Thank you so much, Karen, and it was great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.